This is going to be your February 2019 general reading. And so, I hope you guys are well. This is for Virgo rising, Virgo sun, and Virgo moon. And so, as usual, for your basic layout, I'm using the spiral deck. And for your clarifiers this month, I'm using this cute little tarot deck called the Wildwood Tarot, which I've used before. This is quite the epic reading, Virgo. You have, out of 6 placements, you have 6 major arcana. Or, I'm sorry, out of, usually this is 11 cards, but it came out as 12 this time. And 6 of that, half of your reading is major arcanas. So this seems like February is a huge month for you. Okay. So I'm going to show you all your basic cards and then I'll get started. So your central experience for February is the Hanged Man. Your challenge to that is the 9 of Wands. In this placement, these two came out together. And so what is helping you is the Wheel of Fortune and the 4 of Cups. At the root of your being, you have the 9 of Pentacles. In the recent past, or what you're coming away from, is the Chariot. Your best possible outcome, this is amazing. You have the Hierophant, which in my deck is one of your rulers. This is Chiron, the wounded healer. In the near future, or coming up for you, you have the 6 of Wands. You right now are the Star. In your surroundings, you have the 8 of Cups. As your hope, you have the 10 of Pentacles. As your general outcome, don't get freaked out because this is actually a lot better than it seems. You have Death as your general outcome. Okay. Here we go. I don't know what it is about you guys, but your readings lately seem to be about a lot of internal journeys or metamorphoses you're going through on an internal level. There's a few things in here that talk about external things, but the majority of this seems to be an internal journey this month, a really healing one. Okay, so for your central experience for February, you have the Seer, which in this deck is a version of the High Priestess, and you have the Hanged Man. Both of these are extremely spiritually powerful cards. This is telling me if you have had latent psychic abilities or latent intuitive abilities that are actually quite strong, perhaps for some of you I'm getting you may have actually been afraid of this gift, or somehow you've been taught by your family or society that this gift makes you crazy or something when it doesn't. Something about your psychic abilities, your visionary qualities are heightened this month. You may be receiving visions. You may start seeing pictures in your head or get downloads about things. Pay close attention to this. I feel as though for some reason, not only are you stepping into this, but you're inviting this in. or that you've come far enough along with this where you're realizing that this is a great treasure or a great gift that you have, and you have to pay attention to it, or even develop it more, or act on it more. But I feel as though your senses are heightened this month. All of your senses, all 6 or 7 or 8 of them, your physical senses along with your extra senses, are extremely active this month. It may be that you want to go on some kind of a journey or an internal journey in order to discover some answers to things that you've had for a long time. You may receive omens or signs or messages from around you, so pay attention. You may start getting complex messages. You may start sensing other people's feelings or thoughts, or things are clicking together more than they did before. You're also, because this card, the High Priestess, is called the Seer, this automatically makes me look at the Hanged Man, because he's looking at things from a completely different perspective. He's upside down. He may seem foolish or crazy to other people, but to him, this is perfectly natural. And it enables him to be able to have a fuller understanding of things, because he's looking at it from different angles or from a different perspective that is much more spiritual. So this is where you are in February. This is quite powerful. Your challenge this month is that you need to wrap up things physically, as in something that you've been doing for a long time or working towards for a very long time. You're in the wrapping up process right now. And so you can't necessarily spend all your energy on going within or paying attention to taking time out. You may feel on a very deep level that you need to take some time out to really take care of yourself, or pay attention to yourself, or to experience other experiences besides this old cycle that you're wrapping up. But your challenge is, if you can just get through this last little bit, then you'll be done and you can fully move on, or feel as though you can comfortably fully move on. And something about what you have to wrap up has to do with rebirth. The other card is the 8 of Cups, and in this it's called rebirth. And so you're feeling the beginnings of a complete rebirth. But before you can fully envelop yourself in that process of rebirth, or in order to have the rebirth, you need to wrap up old actions first. And so it's a tricky balance of making sure that you take time out for your inner life, or for, I'm getting a huge thing in here about healing. So, but at the same time, you can't fully envelop yourself in that world, because you still have to stay active and you still have to finish these things up. It may be a lot right now. You may be feeling called in several different directions, being called to do physical things, but you're also being called to go within, or to have moments of complete relaxation, or to get away and experience something different, or even simply to have a vacation, or to get away so that you can renew yourself. But you need to wrap this up first. But you're so close to being done with this that if you can just muster up enough to finish it up now, then you'll be done with it and you can fully move onto this emotional rebirth. So what is helping you? Here, let me put it in the other direction. What is helping you? I feel as though, okay, first, you have the Four of Cups and the Wheel of Fortune. I feel as though you have already been dreaming or having visions or have a grand idea that you would like to pursue. Or you've just gotten caught up in possibly an emotional rut recently where you're just not feeling as inspired as you would like to be. This Hanged Man energy is complete inspiration. This is inspiration. This is where you're at now, but you have been uninspired. So I feel as though you've already done quite a bit of work because you're being inspired now, where you have been uninspired before. Or uninspired about acting or going towards this dream. I feel as though you already know what your dream is, or you know what you want. Or you know what you want for yourself that would make you happy, but perhaps you felt tied down by duties or things you have to do or your normal routines. Or you need to muster up enough bravery to believe that this dream is actually possible and to start going towards it. But what is helping you now is that now things are moving. And if you can take steps towards that cup instead of sitting around just thinking about it, the fates will see that you're doing something and they will make your journey towards this cup a lot easier and quicker. You'll start to notice that things are changing for the better, or that you're being led towards your cup in a good way without too much in your way. You just have to get up out of that chair and go after it, or decide to do it. And the fates are totally on board with this, and they want to make the journey easier for you, and they will remove obstacles in the way of this. They want to see you overcome boredom or overcome apathy or overcome the doldrums or of the same thing happening all the time. They want you to feel excited. So that's what's helping you. At the root of your being, you have the Nine of Pentacles, and you have this deck's version of the Hierophant, which is called the Ancestor. You actually have the Hierophant at your root, and you have it in your branches up in the best possible outcome. So it feels like the very core of you is going through a massive healing right now, which is amazing and wonderful. And I have to admit, even though the Nine of Pentacles is a pretty positive card, I had a feeling of dread when I picked it, or when it came out. When it came out, I had this feeling of, oh no, not that again, or not that again for Virgo. And so this seems to be what you are healing. And we'll get into it. But basically, you are spiritually an adult now. You are spiritually at a place where you are a wise person, or you are an internal elder, or you are an adult. You can shoulder and handle responsibility. You have already learned the art of, manifesting what you need for yourself as an individual. You already know yourself, or you have come to know yourself well. You realize that you can stand on your own 2 feet and manifest on your own. You feel pretty solid, really. But I got a feeling of melancholy with this. And we'll get into it because I'm seeing other things in here that are pointing on why. But yeah, I feel as if you almost, even though you enjoy your solitude or you enjoy your independence, you're almost over it in a certain way. And you know what your worth is. You know who you are. You have come a long way. You possibly may be becoming a healer yourself, whether you've been going to school to get a degree in this. And this could be modern medicine, as in nurses, doctors, all that. This could be alternative old-time medicine, as in acupuncture, massage, hands-on healing, even counseling work, counseling others, Yeah, I feel as though you've come a long way with this. You may have become what is considered a master at this, or you fully embody this now. For some of you, I'm not saying that that's going to apply for all of you, but I am getting that for someone. So let's move on. What you're coming away from is old goals. You have either achieved these goals already, or everything that you have done to strive towards your goals in the past has come to pass. And now you're thinking up new goals for yourself. You have come so far with something from the past now, where now you're gradually letting that go and moving on to a completely new path or a new world in your life. You've come a long way, like I said. You've done a lot of focusing and working towards what you wanted to see grow in your life. You've come a long way. You've gained a lot of wisdom from this, but it's time to move on. Things are naturally progressing or changing in your life. Things will no longer be the way that they were before. Things are becoming something different now. And so you have been doing your best to move forward with this change instead of resisting this change. You've been really focusing on smoothly sailing through this change and accepting it, and also realizing that you can come up with new goals now, or there are new things on the horizon now that you can go towards. So this is where you've been. So I'll show these two first. You have two clarifiers for this position. You have the Hierophant as your best possible outcome. Your best possible outcome takes your initiative or your focus on it in order for it to come into being. Your best possible outcome isn't something that just happens on its own. You have to invite it, or you have to envelop it with your arms. You have to accept it and allow it to come in, or to go towards it. But this isn't a fantasy. Your best possible outcome is not a fantasy. It's your best possible outcome. It's completely possible. And at your root, directly below it on the tree, you have another Hierophant. This is, let's see, is this your only double? Nope, you have two doubles in here. This is your first double. You have two Hierophants in here. I like these two together. You can see the good aspects of the Hierophant. I've never really vibrated with the Rider-Waite versions or the other versions of the Hierophant, of looking like a cold Pope type figure up on a throne. I've never really been able to relate to that Hierophant, but I can completely relate to these two. And so your best possible outcome is to heal. And this isn't healing from something that has happened recently. This isn't healing from something small. This is healing from a very deep, old place. This is healing at your very core of your being. This is healing things that are much more ancient and long-standing. This is amazing. This is the second rainbow card you have in here too. You have the Hanged Man as your central focus for this month, which is also an aspect of healing, of having to receive a vision before you can truly heal, or to become in touch with your soul in the first place before you can heal something that is in your soul. This is a wound that goes possibly to past lifetimes even. And so with it, you have the Five of Stones. Yep. Which in this is called endurance. Obviously, this isn't going to apply for all of you. This is for a certain group of you. And so this reading may or may not resonate for you. But I got something really specific with this, which is that you are healing abandonment. You may have been abandoned before in a past life, in your childhood, in your early years. You may have felt as though you were left all alone in order to fend for yourself when really you were not in a state to have to do that. You were a child. Or this part of you that was wounded is very young. This is your inner child that should have been protected by wise elders or by elders in general, but instead it looks as if she has had to fend for her, she or he has had to fend for themselves before they were even ready to do so, or to possibly even shoulder burdens or responsibilities of taking care of other people when you were too young to have to be expected to do that. Feel as though some of you grew up too soon. You had to become adults. Maybe that's part of the reason on why I got this heavy, oh no, not that again feeling with this, even though this looks really nice visually, but the feeling that I got was heavy, as in, no, I don't want to be that adult anymore. Or, you had to grow up too soon, or you had to take care of adults when they should have been taking care of you, or you had to take care of yourself when someone should have been taking care of you, or you were abandoned or left. Yeah, this goes really deep. I mean, let's face it, we're human beings. All of us have to deal with abandonment issues, just from life in general. Even the healing that has to happen after somebody we loved has passed away, that can feel like an abandonment. This doesn't necessarily have to mean that you were physically deliberately abandoned, although that could be too. Or you felt as though you were deliberately abandoned. But this can be just a general feeling too, of that the universe isn't there for you, or nothing is there for you, and you have to take care of yourself, or you have to fend for yourself. This is also a feeling of lack. The Five of Stones here. This is a feeling of not having what you need, whether that's emotional needs, physical needs, all different kinds of needs, spiritual needs. It could have been that you may have had what you needed, as in food, shelter, clothing, somebody there to make you breakfast, but you may have not had a spiritual guide to teach you about the spiritual things in life, or about the deeper things, or even showed empathy or compassion to you when you most needed it. It could be a lack of that wise elder, of that compassion and understanding and wisdom and patience. You know more than me on how this manifests for you, but as your best possible outcome, this is saying that something about February is opening up an opportunity for you to do some very, very deep healing. And this is entirely possible as your best possible outcome. Your other clarifier with this says that if you can love that child, if you can hug that inner child of yours and let it know that it's no longer going to have to do everything on its own or fend for itself anymore, and even if you can't recreate something, you can still recreate it in your own psyche for yourself. And the more you do this, the more you'll see it mirrored in your actual physical reality, of attracting more understanding, empathic, wise, patient people into your life, or just interactions in your life, or a feeling of support. Your other clarifier is the Knight of Cups, which in this is the eel. This eel is swiftly, freely sailing through the water. The waters of life are your own emotions. Perhaps something about shouldering responsibilities, or being abandoned, or feeling as though there was no one there for you has made it very hard for you to express your emotions, or to say how you actually really feel, especially those soft moments that make us vulnerable. It's a very vulnerable place to admit to someone that you love them dearly, or to say what truly matters to you, or to say what's in your heart, or say how you feel on a very deep level. It could be that because you were taught there was no one to listen, that you bottled those things up, or you have always had this little part of you that feels as though it's not safe for you to open up, or even to receive this from others. When a small, vulnerable, unformed part of yourself has never experienced that and has grown to do without it, it's really hard to open up when this does come. If I put this on a smaller, more understandable form, I would say something like, when someone comes up to you and says, "You are the most wonderful treasure to me. I love you so much. I'm so grateful you're in my life," and gives you a giant bear hug, there may be some part of you, even though it means so much to you to hear those words. I don't know who this is for. It means so much to you, but it's hard for you to accept it. It may be that even though you want that hug, it's hard to loosen up. You tense up, or you don't know what to say back. But you will be able to heal that part of yourself, or you're starting to, as your best possible outcome, so that you can fully express yourself and express your emotions and accept emotions from other people, and be able to freely, easily move through your life and through emotional waters, and to feel emotional support, to be able to accept emotional support, or even to ask for emotional support. Wow. Okay. I almost never tear up. Usually I have iron control over myself, but I don't know who that was for, but that was really intense. I wish you all the best with that. So, coming up for you, you have the Six of Wands with the Two of Stones, Two of Pentacles, which in this is called challenge. Wow. This may be some kind of a competition in a healthy way, as in an art competition, or a music competition, or or competing for a certain position at work, or showing what you're worth. You may be striving towards something that you have always dreamt of or wanted. You may be striving really hard towards this. But as long as you don't give up and you keep on going, you will reach the finish line. You will win, or you will be victorious. It feels as if you're trying to prove yourself, but it's a good kind of proving yourself. To speak up on something that you want. There may even be some internal conflict with this, on how to best move forward, or reach your goals, or win. With the Two of Stones, this can sometimes be two situations, whether it's two jobs, two homes, two some things that you're trying to balance, and it's a challenge. But it looks as if you pass the test with flying colors, as long as you are dogged and steadfast in what you're doing, and you don't give up no matter how challenging things get. Whatever is challenging doesn't look like it's backbreaking, or it can cause you great harm. It's a challenge that needs to be addressed rather quickly. But you will succeed in this, in integrating this challenge, or picking one over the other, or balancing both perfectly. You will be victorious in proving yourself, or showing what you're capable of to yourself even. You may be going through some kind of an internal struggle in the near future, but you will come out of it just fine, and you'll have learned something from it, or it will help aid you to move forward in your life. You right now are the Star and the Ten of Stones, which is called home. This is making me feel like you feel as though finally you're in your spiritual home, or this is a spiritual home. Someone can outwardly in the external world search the ends of the earth looking for a place that is home and never find it. Sometimes we go through life feeling as though we are never at home, or we have never found the right place to be. But that's because no matter where you are, you have to have a sense of spiritual home within yourself where you're at ease with yourself, or you feel at home no matter where you are. And it seems as if you have achieved this. If you haven't achieved it completely, you're on your way. This can also be that you hope and wish for a home, for a sense of belonging, of finding the right place for you, of maybe for some of you, once upon a time, a long time ago, you were abandoned. You may have not felt for many years or lifetimes as if you can never find a home, or you don't know where your home is. It looks as though your wish and hope and what you're focusing on and pouring your energy into is to feel as though you have found your home, or to find your home, or to feel at home, or that you can have a home. And home being a broad term here. This could be a physical home, this could be a family, this could be a community, this could be a sense of belonging, this could be a spiritual home. This could be feeling at ease with yourself, or feeling at home with yourself. Feeling as though you can have what you need and more. You can be connected, you can be part of something much larger. But this is what you are striving for. This is what you want and what you've been focusing your energy on. And you're feeling more hope with this. You're feeling the possibility of this. This is deep healing. This feels like very deep healing to me. You may be sensing this more. You may be sensing that you belong someplace, or that you belong with a group of people, or that you belong in general. You may be feeling this very strongly, and it's an extremely healing experience to feel that way, or to even have people invite you in and treat you as if you are family, to include you, to feel included, to feel accepted, something. So in your surroundings, you have the Eight of Cups and the Page of Swords, which in this is called the Wren. In your surroundings, you're possibly thinking of moving, or moving to a better surroundings, or opening yourself up to your surroundings, to see what's out there in your surroundings, to get more social, to communicate more with other people, to meet new people, possibly to involve yourself in community pursuits or something that involves banding up with other people. You want to branch out. You want to communicate more. This is also still bringing up that for someone, it may be that you're going through, or for a group of you even, you may be going through timely, natural changes in your life, where, again, the old life things are no longer going to exactly be the way that they have been. And I'm feeling on long-term cycles here, decades, years. Things have reached their culmination with an old cycle, and you're about to start a new cycle, or a new cycle is starting whether you like it or not. And so you can gracefully go with this change. But it is hard. It may be that you're having to leave some things behind, or some things are just naturally passing away. And again, it's kind of a bittersweet feeling here of things will no longer be the way that they have been. But in order to ease this, or to ease into the change, it says to go out more, meet more people, try new things. You may even receive some kind of a message or an invitation to go do something, even though it might be outside of your comfort zone. I would advise you, it would be awesome for you to just take baby steps though. This feels really large to me. And so take baby steps and test the waters a little bit. Maybe go out a little bit and then next time increase it a little bit more. Not that you're locked up in your house or something and you never get out, but I'm saying with trying new things or branching out or seeing what is out there more than you have been. Reaching out. But it seems as though friends or dear people or even magic itself is coming to you to invite you out and saying, come on, come out with me. Let's try something new. We want to see you come out of your little cave castle and go have fun. Whatever change you're going through right now, it's important for you to stay in the present too, and to just try little fun things here or there. Come and keep us company. Go do something with us. So this is a process here in your surroundings. Your fear, and this is your card. This is the Hermit card. Your fear is that you will always be alone, or you're tired of being alone so much. You've already mastered self-sufficiency. You've already mastered knowing who you are. You feel comfortable in your own skin, but you're done with your hope is for community. This is the second 10 of Pentacles. The other 10 of Pentacles was with the star here. You're wanting to feel included. You're wanting to feel part of something. You're wanting to see your family more, or be part of your family more, or to have your soul family or your soul tribe, or feel connected or feel supported. To get more social, to feel included, to appreciate the fact that you do have lots and lots of support and lots of people that love you, and to feel that more by putting yourself into it. And your final outcome. This is really interesting. I tried to pull a clarifier for death and I got another death. This is 2 deaths together. So this is a very clear, precise message. This says no matter what, things are ending, things are transforming, things are changing. There's nothing to be done about it. But then I wanted to know what was ending. And I got this, which is the 7 of Swords. And in this, it's called insecurity. It's the end of insecurity. It's the end of feeling as though life is out to get you, or that only bad things will happen to you, or that you won't be able to fill in the blank. Yeah, with your best possible outcome. This is reminding me of this. This little girl who's out in the wilderness in a storm by herself in a cave. She doesn't look secure. She's making do. She's taking care of herself to the best of her ability. She's made a little fire, and for now she's found some shelter. But I wouldn't say that she is secure here. There's a storm in the background. She's out in the wilderness by herself, and she's a little one. She's a child. She's not She's supposed to be in a real home with adults to take care of her. This is not a secure feeling. This is a feeling of who knows what will happen. And this wound, or this feeling that runs very deep from it within yourself, is now changing or coming to an end. Either that or it will end you. This will end you if you don't work on your best possible outcome, on healing this with love. It may be your downfall. It may be your end. This will no longer be able to work in your, this is creating things in your life that keep you trapped. And what you truly want is a sense of home, a sense of belonging, a feeling of support, of having what you need spiritually, emotionally, and physically. If you don't heal this now, or if you don't start healing this now, or if you resist this healing, or you try to hang on to the old, it's not going to work out. But I would like to focus more on the fact that this is saying that this is the end of insecurity. You will start feeling secure. Not that you always feel insecure, but like I said, this feels really deep. You may at times in your life have not even felt this in there, but it is in there. This is a feeling of trust, or this isn't. This is a feeling of trust, of having that you will have what you need and more, that you're taken care of. So hopefully that helped or made sense. I love you very much. Good luck with everything. You fully have my support with that if this applied for you. And I wish you all the best. Many blessings. And I'll see you soon for your bonus reading if you would like to check that out. Okay, bye.